Most of our problems in Dungeons and Dragons come from a conflict of how we think the game should be played. And so that's because every table is different. So when you are looking for advice and you see something online that doesn't mesh with what you think, you're like, that's not how I play the game. And you're right, it probably isn't. And that's the deal. Conflict of a game depends on what the table needs. Every table is different, all players are different, dungeon master different, so we're trying to tell a different story. If we were all telling the same story, the rules would inflect that. But because we're not, and we're playing different games with different people who are interested in different parts of the game, including the dungeon masters, that's what determines what we change and don't change. And so when we talk about, well, you should be using a different system, should we? Because that table maybe knows Dungeons and Dragons and they're not interested in trying something new and figuring it out. So the dungeon master can simply tweak something to give them the type of game they're looking for. That's why we find so much homebrew, is because once we're familiar with something, it is easier to change it. Doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it right. It's just that's why we have conflict with what we view rules as and what is the right way. Once we remove the idea there is a right way or there's a bad take, and really there's only one bad take, that's being an antagonistic dungeon master or a pain in the butt or just an evil human being in general, that's the wrong way to play. But if we as a dungeon master are trying to give a great story experience to our players, and our players are trying to collaborate with our dungeon master, there is no wrong way. It's when you try to stop that from happening. That's the only wrong way to play. Which means when you're looking at advice, you kind of have to take it all with a grain of salt. That's what it really boils down to. Food for thought.